When most people think about an opera, they likely picture, the powdered wigs, singers with soul and experience crying about love and heartbreak. But when the opera is produced by teenagers, you can expect a much different result.
The University of Southern Maine is premiering Girl in 6 Beats, created by young teenagers, about young teenagers, composed by Daniel Sonnenberg. We sat down with Daniel and one of the writers, 13-year-old Amelia Bailey, to talk about this unique experience.
Well, it was a week-long camp where we would write a 15-minute opera. I think it was 15 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
Yes, well, it turned into 30 minutes. And so we had a lot of young artists, writers, some more into music, and we all collaborated and wrote this opera. And we gave it to our wonderful composer, and over the course of the year we met up every once in a while. And now it's been rehearsed and is ready to be shown this weekend.
You're very young, Amelia. You're 13 years old, right?
I'm 13, yes.
Did you ever imagine yourself writing an opera at 13 years old?
Well, I have been involved with some things in Opera Maine. I really love singing and acting, but I never thought of actually writing an opera. And so when I found out about the opportunity, I was ready to take it on, and I was very excited.
By Caroline Kulker, who's the general director of Opera Maine, and she phoned me with the idea, and before anything had really been solidified. She had this idea that the telling room would run a workshop, and they would generate a libretto, and I would write it, and it sounded crazy, but it also sounded like a lot of fun. And so it was kind of a no-brainer for me, and it seemed like a great opportunity.
So you get this script, and you have to compose now. What did you think when you saw the script?
Well, it was a collaborative process. So I visited with the writers when they were at the camp. I met with them on the first day, and then I think I came middle of the week, by which point they had already sketched out a plot and had ideas. And I gave them some feedback, and then by Friday, this was incredibly fast. By Friday, the librettists all did a reading of the finished script, and I saw it with the other people in the room, and I was very, very impressed. I gave them some feedback, and then I sort of took it and sat with it for a little bit, just because I was busy teaching. And then when I started composing, the strength of their work really kind of struck me anew, because it's very different when you sit to actually write it. I had some questions, and I had some cuts I wanted to make, and I consulted with the group.
You talk about being impressed. These are teenagers writing operas. Does it impress you to see, young people getting involved in a process that you are very passionate about yourself?
Yeah, it does. It impresses me, and it taught me a lot. I think there's a certain perspective that younger people have, that there's a freshness, there's a creative spark that is really captured in this process. What impresses me the most is that any group of 7 people could get together and create an opera libretto in 1 week, because out there in the world we spend a lot longer on that sort of thing, and it's a very significant work. I think it was a very special group of writers to be able to do that.
Amelia, why don't you tell us a little bit, kind of a brief synopsis of the opera?
Well, our altogether plot was about a girl being voiceless. We wanted to talk about something relevant, which we thought that was. Mm-hmm. And so it's pretty much her journey in overcoming that, just summed up. And she meets a lot of people along the way, some nice, some not, like, you know who I'm talking about. But she overcomes it in the end, and it's left with a hopeful feeling. Not every problem summed up, but you're left with, okay, things are gonna get better.
So when your peers come and see this weekend, what do you hope they take away from this?
I hope they see it and realize that you can overcome anything. Like, if you're feeling voiceless, if you feel like no one's listening to you, there is a way to overcome that and feel more confident and, yeah, just feel better about everything.
Are you really looking forward to seeing this kind of come to light this weekend?
Oh my gosh, yes. I haven't seen any of the rehearsals, and I've only seen it on paper, and I'm very much looking forward to this.
She's unbelievable.
She's so good. Girl in 6 Beats will be performed at the University of Southern Maine's Corthell Hall on Saturday at 8, Sunday at 2. Then the young writers have a chance to present it at their own schools. And we'll be right back.